Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to share with you my filming setup. So everything I use for my camera, my lenses, and my lighting. So if you guys are interested in hearing about how I film my YouTube videos, then just keep on watching. So I am going to show you guys a tour of my room and my setup so you guys can get a perspective of like where I'm sitting, where my camera is, where all my lights are and everything. But I wanted to show you guys a couple things before we get into that. So right now I am filming on a Nikon D3200. That's what I started my channel with. That's what I've been filming videos on for the past 2 years. I've made I think I have about 140 videos on my channel, and I've deleted like maybe 25 really bad videos. So I filmed a lot of videos on this camera that I am on right now. And the only thing that I changed is the lens. So right now I have a 40mm lens, and that is a prime lens. And the lens that the camera comes with is the kit lens, and it's a 18 to 55mm lens, which means you can zoom in and out. So that is a benefit. You can like have this across the room from you and zoom in, and you can have it like pretty up close to you, and you're still gonna be in focus because it's not just constricted to a little space, because you're able to go like wide or really close up. The downside is that you're not gonna get a blurred background like I have right now. Like all of this, you guys can't see the labels closely of all the products I have in the background. And also the actual lens is rounded versus a prime lens that is flat. And basically what that means is that whatever is closest to the camera is gonna look bigger, and it's gonna be stretched out. So if you're taking makeup pictures, your nose is closest to the camera versus like your eyebrows and everything, so your nose will end up looking bigger. That's basically what the guy at the camera store told me, that it's gonna kind of stretch out your face a little bit and kind of throw how you look off just slightly. And I do feel like there is a big difference between this lens and the lens that I'm filming on right now, especially because of the background. I think it might just be in my head whether or not my nose looks different in this lens versus the other one, but I am so much happier filming with this lens. And I think I've had it since last October, so maybe a year and 3 months, and I really like it. And it's also the lens that I use for a lot of my blog photos, my fashion photos, where you guys can see like a blurred background image. This is the lens that I use for a lot of those photos with this camera. So that's basically everything I have going on for my Nikon. I also have about 3 or 4 batteries for this camera and a couple different chargers, because every time I film a video I need one battery. So usually I film like maybe 2 or 3 videos in a row, and I just need to switch out the batteries so my camera doesn't overheat as quickly. And I also have a couple of memory cards for all my cameras. They all look the same, and they're just 64 gig memory cards. I suggest getting 64 at least. Usually I get about maybe 2 hours of footage on to this memory card, so that ends up being maybe 2 or 3 videos, because every video that I film I probably have like an hour of footage, and then I cut it down to maybe like 10 minutes. So I go through those really quickly, and I just have to put them in my computer basically right away so I can just keep using the same ones. I probably need to get a couple more. And I also have a remote so I can focus myself. It just looks like this. It's like $15, and I just take a picture of myself so I'm in focus, and then I hit record, because this camera does not have autofocus. So if I move out of frame, I am just like not in focus at all. It's not one of those cameras that like adjusts with you. So that is a huge downside. And also there's no flip screen, so like anytime I'm looking, because you guys know I probably do that a lot in my videos, that's because there's a monitor right next to me, because there's not a flip screen right in front of the camera. So that's how I get myself in focus, is just using this, and that's how I've been doing it for 2 years. What I used to do when I did not have a monitor was use a wall mirror from Target, like a $10 mirror, and set it up behind my camera and just hope for the best. And that's why I've had to delete a lot of old videos, because they were just really blurry and just really bad quality. So that's what I use for my actual camera for my videos. I also have a separate camera that I film my Instagram videos on, and that's the Sony A5100. This is basically what everyone has to film Instagram videos. Some people actually use this for YouTube. It overheats a lot quicker than a DSLR, but it's a really good quality camera. And I have a Sigma 30mm lens, and this is just like what the packaging of the box looks like. This is not the lens that it comes with. It comes with this little lens, so it's a lot smaller, it's a lot more compact, but I upgraded the lens just to have a better quality picture. So any day that I'm filming, I end up using both cameras. I use this and set it up for Instagram, and then as soon as I'm finished, then I just switch over my camera, and that way neither of my cameras overheat, and I'm able to get everything that I want done for the day by using multiples. And also this camera has autofocus, so you guys see like in my Instagram tutorials, like I hold up products, and that does not work with this Nikon. So it's a lot easier to film like tutorials and stuff with this because I can just focus on the camera and not have to go back and forth and see if like products are in focus or anything. So that's why I love using that for Instagram. It just makes everything a lot easier. It's a lot easier to set up. I don't have to worry about setting up the monitor or anything. So that's why I use that, but I like to use my DSLR for my like main channel videos. So before I show you guys my lighting, I just want to let you know that everything is kind of subject to change based on your environment, where you're filming, what time of day it is, the colors of your wall, your background, what you're wearing, like can throw off the white balance. So this is basically the same setup that I had in my room 6 months ago in my old apartment, but the lighting looks so different because the walls are different, where I had a window was different, and basically I'm just in a pretty small room in my apartment. This is the only window behind me. Right behind me I have a window that's the only like natural light source, but also if I open the window there's like a building right behind me, so I'm not getting like direct sunlight. There is a building right behind me, so there's not really much I can do about that. So I have lots and lots of artificial lights. So the lighting can always change depending on the time of day or even how close I am to the camera. So you guys will see a lot of times in like my reviews, I'll come like up closer for swatches or a demo, and then I'll zoom back out, and the lighting can change a little bit because of where I am in relation to my background, and it just kind of throws off the white balance. So with that being said, I always go into Final Cut and I play with like color correcting. I'll have to up the exposure and up the saturation to make things look more realistic and how I look in real life. So right now you guys are seeing me color corrected, and I'm going to show you guys real quick what it looks like without any color correcting. So I'm assuming I look a little bit more gray now, a little less realistic, like I don't really look gray in person. And then when I change it back, you guys will see that I look more realistic. My skin color looks more like skin and less like really cool tone. So that's what I have to do when I edit sometimes, just to make everything look more natural and more realistic. So just because you have like certain lighting, that doesn't mean you're going to get the exact same effect as someone else, because a lot of times people do color correct if you need to, depending on how your lighting ends up looking. And also the colors of your walls or like where you have windows in the room can really affect the lighting. So this exact same lighting setup can look completely different somewhere else, and I definitely tested that out in my old apartment because it looks way different, and the lighting like environment was a lot better then, and I'm still playing with how things look now. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys my setup and everything so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about, and hopefully it's helpful. If you guys have any questions about anything I show you, definitely let me know. So let's move into that setup. Alright, so right now I'm standing by the door of my room so you guys can see like from the back everything that I used to film. And I'm just going to take you guys around to see my actual lighting and everything. So I have two softboxes. I almost fell on. I have two softboxes from Amazon, and I will link everything in the description box. I have two softboxes on each side. And then I also have my ring light in the center. My camera is just plugged right into my ring light. And you guys see there's no flip screen or anything. So I have my monitor, and then I also have it on a table. And then I also have another table where I film my makeup tutorials and put all my makeup and my notes and everything. And then that's just where I sit. And then there's my background so you guys see like this perspective when I film. And then I also have these other lights that are on just these light stands that I got at Target maybe 2 years ago. And the bulbs that are on them I just got on Amazon. They're what Makeup by Ali. She recommended them in a video years ago, and I ended up getting those first. I got those before I got anything else because that's what's gonna make your room look like daylight. So I just have those lights on either side of my room, basically where they fit, and you guys wouldn't see them on pictures. And then when I film, this is exactly what everything looks like. This is where I'm staring, and then sometimes I'm staring in here so I could see myself. And I'll show you guys when I focus myself right before I press record. I just take a picture like this. And then that's how I end up focusing myself. And it's gonna show me myself in a second. And then I just hit record on my camera and we're good to go. There's a tennis ball because my puppy is in the corner there. And then this is where I have all my makeup, where I have my notes, like for this video, like the order that I wanted to do everything. And I'll show you guys, like I do notes for like all my other videos, like basically all the products, everything that I want to make sure I mention in my videos, I just have right in front of me, like at all times. Anything that I want to note down to like edit or something, I'll have right in front of me. When I do my makeup for Instagram, I just do it right here, and I keep this on like while I'm filming and stuff, so I could just check and make sure I don't have like lipstick on my teeth or anything. So that's basically the whole setup of where I actually am. Right now I'm like sweating profusely in this sweater. But other than that, yeah, that is everything. It's really, really bright. It's really, really hot, and it's a lot of lights. But it's basically the best that I can do in this environment, and it's been working out pretty nicely for me for like probably the last year. I've had like this specific setup. I've always had the camera, that's the first thing I had, and then I added these, then I added the ring light, and then lastly, probably last spring, I added the soft boxes. And also the monitor is super helpful because I'm able to see myself, and it kind of makes up for not having a flip screen or anything. It's a little farther away from the camera, but it is really helpful to see whether or not I'm in focus. So yeah, that's my whole setup and everything that I use. Sometimes you guys ask me for a room tour, but this is the entire room. Where that light is the door. And then here I am at the vanity. It's like 10 feet away. It's a very small room. My whole setup basically takes up the entire room. I can't really fit anything else. Even my puppy sometimes walks over the cables and will knock like one of these down while I'm filming. But I like to have them in here with me just for company sometimes. So that is my whole setup. If you guys have any questions about this, make sure just to ask me, because I can help you guys out with whatever I know, because I've gone through a lot with different equipment and everything. But I've been really liking this particular setup. I know that I want to upgrade my camera to Canon 80D hopefully in the next year, but the Nikon has been working out for me for over 150 videos, so that's what I've been using. So just make sure you ask me if you guys have any questions about this camera or any of my lighting, and everything will be linked below. Alright guys, so that's everything for today's video. I hope you enjoyed seeing the behind the scenes of my filming setup and equipment. I do get some questions sometimes about what I use, so I hope this was helpful, and if you guys have any more questions, please let me know them in the comments down below. And if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll talk to you guys soon in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.